What's up, it's Jimfro. We tested another boss in the new raid coming in 10.1, and this boss has a bunch of potential, but it was unfortunately buggy and unfinished during testing, so take this preview with a grain of salt. The boss's name is Echo of Neltharion, and it's actually the second to last boss of the raid. Again, testing this boss was a bit of a mess because the tuning seemed a little bit off, and a huge bug prevented us from doing any of the second phase right, which means we didn't get to see the last phase at all. But this fight definitely has some cool stuff going on. In phase 1, he spawns a bunch of rock walls that turn into their own sections around the room, and he occasionally casts a big fall-off damage circle that leaves this big lava pool on the ground. So you have to use a couple knockback mechanics to get sent flying through the sections of the wall to break them and then be able to run far enough away from the big circle. It's pretty good. Phase 2 is the crazy part though. Every 30 seconds he chooses a random class of players to become corrupted, so all of the mages, all of the warriors, and so on. These players then have class-specific corruption mechanics happen to them for a bit. Warriors cast a huge blade storm every few seconds, hunters see a bunch of little ads that they can kill and then stack a big damage buff, Death Knights grip allies and drop a damage pool at their feet, and the list goes on and on. A lot of the mechanics like the Warrior's Blade Storm also hits enemies, so you can use this to your advantage, which is super cool. Now there are some caster ads around the room that only corrupted players can see at first, so they're supposed to hit an ad until it's revealed to everyone else, then everyone kills it and you move on to the next ad in another section of the room. And you also have to use the fancy new tank mechanic to break the walls in this phase. They basically get to control a shadow version of themselves for a couple seconds where they can run through the walls they want to break. Then finally, once all the ads are dead, phase 3 starts, which we didn't get to see. But it involves killing a bunch of little ads that are spawning out of void portals and using those portals to avoid a one-shot cast that the boss does once in a while. Overall, I can definitely see the potential greatness in this boss. The whole class corruption thing in phase 2 is the wildest thing I've seen in a while. It's going to be real interesting to see how it plays out with raid comps that stack a lot of the same class since they all get corrupted at the same time. Or if the boss can choose to corrupt the class you don't even have in your raid. Or what if the class choosing RNG will have a huge effect on how good your pulls are in general? I guess we'll have to wait and see. I hope they end up testing this boss again with the bug fix so we can see the whole fight and really get a feel of how it's going to turn out. As usual, our official guide for this boss will be out before everyone else's, but if you want him even earlier, check out our Patreon to get early access and all the other good stuff we release over there. We take food, drinks, and WoW token donations too.